Good afternoon to you and welcome to another day after the public holidays and independence celebrations. This is your wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping individuals and organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the stock market. I'm glad to be back here again in the markets and to see exactly what is going on and what is in it for you and I. I hope you had a fantastic independence celebration. We are back again doing what we know how to do best. And by the grace of God, we will finish the year strong. I shared something with members of Network Investors Club during the public holidays on the 1st of October 2025 that the way you finish the year will determine how well you start the new year. So we are determined to finish the year 2025 strong, even as we have launched into the last quarter of 2025. And hopefully, we gather enough steam and momentum, finish strong towards November and December after October, so that 2026 will be on to a flying start. Thank you very much for joining. This is how we begin today's live stream, and I'm glad to be here with you once again. And once more, let me salute your courage and determination to continue to look for ways of creating wealth for yourself. Please do not relent. Like I stated in one post I made this morning on Twitter, Instagram, and so on, that indeed, Nigeria celebrated 65 years of independence yesterday, but still remains in financial captivity and economic problems. Now, if you do not want the situation to be the same with you when you are 65, find a way to make the most of the investment opportunities now, so that at 65, you won't suffer the experience of Nigeria. Thank you very much, everyone. You know how we do it. Top of the morning to you, Maobi, as well. Please go ahead and keep liking and sharing this live stream. You are saving lives by doing that and ensuring by your actions that our efforts here is not in vain, because the screen actions repeatedly embarked on by you eventually gets to draw the attention of so many others who may need to be a part of what we are doing for free and to find a way to grow their finances. As we usually do, we will use 1 hour taking your comments, and then I will proceed to taking calls on TikTok. But before then, we will do the review of activities in the stock market on the last trading day before we went on the one-day public holiday independence celebration. Okay? Let's also be informed that the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You need patience to make money in the market. Therefore, do not come into the market with a gambler's mentality. We are not involved in any form of pyramid schemes. And so, patiently and intelligently sourcing information via data provided by companies listed on the stock exchange, we are able to make progress. Can I tell you something? If you bought Alibaba $115, 15th of July, when I first made a post about it on Twitter, and some of you I know eventually got in at 120 and 125. Guess what? Alibaba will continue to surge ahead. I just made a video on Instagram before coming on live. And that's because JP Morgan has proceeded to even increase its outlook and analysis regarding price action for the stock. And for that reason, the stock is jumping in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And similar thing will happen in the U.S. stock market when the market opens at 2:30 p.m. For your information, Alibaba surged from that $115 per share in July, just 2 months ago when it was mentioned, to $180 as at yesterday per share. I'd like to check quickly how much Alibaba is going for right now, and let's celebrate our wins. There's something we really aren't doing, and maybe it is because of my personal nature of not always making noises about what I do, okay? But I like to celebrate everybody who found a way to buy Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, and have already made gains. I'm trying to check now how much Alibaba closed yesterday. Indeed, $182.78 is the closing price yesterday. And of course, in pre-market right now, it's pumping to $187 per share. So Alibaba is about to embrace the $200 mark. Congratulations, everybody. If you bought Alibaba, encourage someone, and let's see how we celebrate them as always. Thank you very much, everyone. Congratulations, congratulations. Luke said, I'm sure that action by Luke on TikTok is showing that he actually bought Alibaba as well. Congratulations, everybody. Let's celebrate our wins together. Indeed, we are actually making progress here. It is so sweet to earn US dollars as you are in a Naira-based economy. You won't understand if you are not here. But then, what do I know? We progress on to the next segment of today's program, which is a review of trading activities in the last trading day before we went on the break. The Nigerian stock market wrapped up September on a positive note as the all-share index gained 1.72% to close the month and the third quarter in the green. Tracked by the all-share index, the market opened September at 140,295.5 points, supported by a trading volume of 13.6 billion shares, closed at 142,710.5 points on September 30th. Despite starting the month slowly with 0.94% decline in the first week, the index quickly regained momentum. So this is us reviewing for the month of September. But please be informed, we are not on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube today for technical reasons, and so apologies there. Therefore, today's live stream will be posted after the live session is over on YouTube. So the remaining week stayed positive, with the second week standing out as the strongest in September. On a quarterly basis, the market delivered a strong showing. The all-share index advanced 18.95% in quarter three, its strongest quarterly performance so far this year. For the quarter, July was the standout month, posting 16.57% gains, and not only the best of the quarter, but also the highest monthly return of the year so far. On a year-to-date basis, the third quarter surge has helped lift the all-share index well above the gains in the first two quarters. Year-to-date all-share index now stands 38.65%, reflecting a robust run for Nigerian equities in 2025. The NGX Insurance Index topped the third quarter, rising 57.65% quarter-to-date and recording a trading volume of 18.7 billion shares. Although September closed in the red with a 7.21% decline, the strong gains from August kept the sector afloat. Quarterly performance was driven by standard rallies in the individual stocks, including Regency Alliance Insurance, Sovereign Trust Insurance, ICO Insurance, and Veritas Cap Assurance. You remember the insurance surge was such a wonderful one, and we can see how that sector has contributed immensely to the performance of the all-share index year to date. Okay, so I won't like to waste too much of our time going sectorally, but I'd like to let you know that you are in for interesting times. And for those who are just joining, if you are not following me, you are losing money. Listen, all the views expressed here are just my opinion and personal, not investment advice. Please take note of that caveat. I am required to declare that as always so that we stay guided. And so if you get information here, you've got to do your due diligence before you proceed to invest. That's the kind of community we have. We don't take things hook, line, and sinker. We go and do our research and come back to make our investment decisions. Hopefully, we share great information that will put money in our bank accounts, particularly increasing our net worth. Thank you very much, everyone. Sylvie says, boss, Chams is flying, oh, I never buy finish. Oh, really, Sylvie? So what were you waiting for? I guess you're waiting for one major pay that should have come in. But never mind, the market is like a bus station. Every time you miss your bus, most likely in the next few minutes, another bus will be arriving to take you to your destination. The important thing is your focus is your destination. And as long as your focus remains your destination, then It doesn't matter what vehicle that takes you there. The important thing is another bus may just arrive, or even the same Chams could just pull back to take you in and then forward march to your destination. I hope you get this analogy. Sometimes we need to relate what we are teaching with physical day-to-day experience. That way, it becomes easier to understand. That's the method of coaching and teaching that I have always preferred to deploy. Good afternoon, great coach Joel Lambs. Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to you. Ikem Benzoinic says, good afternoon, coach. Please, what are the stocks you are targeting in October? You said the offers for Chams are little. I want to buy my 1 million shares today, sir. Is it possible? Let's check what's going on with Chams. I sat here talking a lot about Chams. I've still not seen Chams where I wanted it. I just didn't get tired of talking about it because I knew that as much as I talk about it, those ears that will listen can benefit a lot. It's been very sluggish. Now, can you imagine the topsy-turvy with Chams? This same Chams went on full bid, 5 million shares versus 0 offers. That's 5 million bids versus 0 offers. But as we speak now, the seller has come back. The same question I posed in our Network Investors Club group this morning. I was asking the moment the market opened, 3 or so minutes, or was it 15 minutes into trading, Chams has already done 5 million bids, 0 offers, because the stock price shot up so maximal. And I was asking, is the dumper of Chams done with his dumping? If so, let's know. If we find out he's done, then Chams will be on his way far away from anything close to 3 or 4 naira. But how wrong were we to assume that the dumper was done? Because as I speak to you right now, Chams has so much more offers in the market again. 23.5 million offers, 7.7 million bids. So do not panic from where you are right now. Chams has dropped from 3 naira 85 kobo where it got to and went on full bid to 3 naira 75 kobo. And then you have so much in the market on offer, 23 million shares versus 7.7 million bids. That's the nature of Chams that we have come to know in the last few months. But you know what? Not everything lasts forever. Eventually, those shares being offloaded by this Chams dumper, I call him dumper, will eventually be exhausted. And the more he sells, the more it enters into new hands who are ready to wait. Maybe this seller actually bought Chams years ago at 50 kobo per share. Nobody knows. And so he's really reaping from his fantastic returns, right? I'm trying to now check how Chams has managed in the course of the last 5 years, for instance. You see, 5 years ago, this Chams was 20 kobo per share, October 2020. So you get the point now. Someone who bought 5 years ago, 20 kobo per share, in fact, from October 2020 all the way down to December 2023. By December 2023, Chams was still selling, December 2020, Chams 2022, Chams was still selling for 20 kobo per share. That's to say, from 2020 to 2022, Chams was just stagnant, 20 kobo per share. No information, no nothing, 20 kobo. And then it started rising in January 2023 to 23 kobo, 27 kobo, and then by May 2023, Chams rose to 28 kobo per share. This just 2023, 2 years ago, this Chams was selling for 28 kobo per share. It was around that time June came, and then it bounced to 42 kobo and then leaped to 1 naira for the first time in July 2023. So this Chams was selling for 1 naira in July 2023. In the same 2023, it was selling for 60 kobo, 20 kobo, and what have you. So those who accumulated that time, you can imagine, let me do a little bit of maths here. Assume that someone bought in June for 38 kobo per share, June 2023. 38 kobo per share, and the person dumped 10 million, picked up 10 million shares for 28 kobo per share, that would amount to about just 2.8 million naira. 2.8 million naira invested would have given you 10 million Chams. And today, that 10 million Chams, let's see how much it is. 3 naira 50, oh, okay, it's 375 now. 3 naira 75 kobo times 10 million shares. 37.5 million naira. 3 years ago, your 2.8 million naira is now worth 37.5 million naira as we speak. Such a person will keep dumping. But guess what? We are in for another dawn. 3 years from now, we will come back to say, if you bought Chams at 3 naira or 1 naira 80 kobo or 2 naira 50 kobo, where most of you have entered Chams. Now, from 2 naira 50 kobo or 3 naira 50 kobo, it is 15 naira. We will be here, we will do the analysis, and we'll be amongst those celebrating, right? Okay, I know some of you have taken excess beyond your rights issue during the rights at 1 naira 70 kobo. So that's what's happening. We're just waiting for the dumper of Chams to be done dumping so that we can enjoy another lease of life regarding this stock. Now you understand the 1 million shares challenge. Most of those stocks we are buying now at 3 naira, 4 naira, 7 naira, 2 naira, 5 naira. 3 years from now, they'll be the ones selling for either 10 naira, 15 naira, or thereabouts. Okay? Just stay calm. This 1 million shares challenge is to force you into becoming a multi-millionaire. Put in another way, is to force the multi-millionaire out of you. To force it. There is a millionaire in you, multi-millionaire in you, but you may just not know how. We are here to force that millionaire out from within you. All right? So believe in yourself. Trust the process. Stay positive. Your future is too bright to still be scared of. Good afternoon, Coach. When are we likely to get Chams rights issue in our account? Wonderful. Babalola, the rights issue just closed last week, Friday. Let's stay calm. It takes several months, if I'm honest. But Chams tried to do something. They tried to do it electronically and customized most of the bulk Chams holders forms. For instance, there's a form. For my own form, they already had my details, so it came in my name as sent to me by Atlas Portfolios. So I was able to go ahead and enjoy straight application for my rights and extra beyond my rights. So I think it may happen quicker because that way it's easier to sort and then do the allotment. But usually it takes several months, may take up to 3 months, and the worst case may even take up to 6 months. But with the approach they took, I guess it won't take that long. And then, of course, we have Tolu Walashe is celebrating. She's dancing because she says that Sterling Bank is now 8 naira plus. Let's go there and see what's happening with Sterling. We were here. I had so many questions about Sterling, and I was like, okay, Sterling is actually fair at that 7, and the public offer is now over. That means the price. So that's what should be happening to Chams now. After the rights issue, the price is supposed to begin to run, but there is a dumper in the market. We'll just entertain ourselves and continue to watch him dump until he's exhausted. So right now, Sterling is selling at 8 naira currently. It went as high as 8 naira 25 kobo today, but it's not done yet. I doubt if it is because there are 3.8 million bids versus 2.9 million offers. What's happening now is a new set of owners are taking position in Sterling Bank. Those who will be patient enough to wait through the process for the funds being generated from the public offer, because of recapitalization, to really be deployed and mature into revenue and income. Those are the sets of people now taking position in sterling, not the sets that had it at 3 naira. Most of them are selling now. So you understand what I mean by we do not buy stocks. We are buying and selling patience. So their patience ran out after holding for so long, because that sterling stayed for so long at 3 naira and eventually picked up during the bank recapitalization move. So we are in for interesting times. I didn't subscribe to the sterling bank offer because cash is limited and distributed in some places. And of course, for the sake of not over-diversifying, because I teach what I practice. So when one dividend drops, it's heavy enough to go back and harass the same sterling or a Chams or a TIP or a UPDC REIT whenever the dividend drops. You get the point now? All right, coach, what's the best price to bid for Chams today? Lena, if you came earlier, you even would have bought higher. But the good news is there's so much supply of Chams right now. You want to take your time and place your bid. And what I noticed is the buyers are not in a haste anymore. So I am thinking yesterday it closed at 3 naira 50 kobo. Maybe 3 naira 50 kobo is a good entry, but let's see where you will be positioned if you bid yesterday's closing price. I'm seeing a long queue there. They have to sell to 3.5 million shares bids before it gets to your turn. And for that reason, you can up your bid from 3 naira 50 kobo to something a little higher, to 351. If you bid 351, then there will only be about 1.5 million shares standing in front of you before your turn. I think that's the way to do it. All right? Okay. So how to get Atlas account? Send me a DM on Instagram. Make sure it's on Instagram and not on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, I'll forward the link to you, and then you will be sure it is the actual Atlas we use that you are linked to and you are registering with. Oluwa Shola James says, Coach, you are live on YouTube. Hope all is well. Okay, I announced earlier that there are technical hitches that could not be resolved before the live stream today. And so all other platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, we are not live there. But today's live stream, like I said, will eventually be uploaded on YouTube. Coach, I bought Chams at 2 naira 93. I want to top up. Do you advise I buy now, or do you think there will be a dip by November? Now, these are some pitches. Nice move there. Pitches. Nice move there. But you see, these are some of the uncertainties of the market. Anything can happen in November, but that depends on what happens after the third quarter result we're expecting this month, right? Most companies will be publishing third quarter results, and if the results are very good, prices will move higher than they are now, so that at least by the time November, December dip comes, they may not drop below what they are now. Another perspective is the result could come out and not be so impactful, and therefore not much interest to push the price further. That means it stays the way it is now and dips below what it is now in November. So it's always a 50-50 chance, whether or not. So the best approach to do this is first, go in there, maybe 50% of the total you want to deploy now, and then wait to see if it dips in November, December, beautiful, you average down. Just so you don't get to miss out completely, should it rise further than it is now during that time, right? So these are ways to go about this, because all bargain purchases should be done with between November and December. Afterwards, we proceed to just sitting by and watching our stocks grow like grass. right? Okay, I hope this helps. What do you say about Exord and Baba Coach? Yesterday, Maples and Cara Place. Go and check the videos. I've done Exord yesterday. I've done Baba before coming live on Instagram. So all of my opinion about those stocks are right there. Coach, okay. Good day, Coach. Please, how can I know a good stock to buy? A Jobman Fashion Home. To know a good stock to buy depends on what kind of investor you are in the market. If I may use investor, which may not eventually be the correct terminology, because in the stock market, you have basically two categories of people. And this brings me to our knowledge session. Please understand this, and these are some of the intricacies that people do not know about the stock market that is not easily taught, and therefore they just jump in not knowing even who they are, right? Some people are in the market because they need quick money, and so for whatever reasons, maybe the money they have to get into the market to buy and sell stocks is not theirs. Borrowed money, and so on. Or money they need to execute a project in a couple of months, short or medium term. So they decide to come to the stock market to grow it. Such people are traders, basically referred to as traders in the market. Category 1, traders. Category 2, those people who are in the market to invest long term. They are not here to buy and sell, all of those jumping up and down is not their thing. They have come to the market to habitually invest regularly towards building a solid wealth or financial fortress in the future. In the process, they get to receive both dividends and capital gains as time goes on. Because every market, as far as it is a stock market, rewards investors who stay long. A research was done, and it was discovered across all stock markets around the world that traders, long-term investors make more money than traders by the time they aggregate their performances together. So you decide for yourself. Some people have the temperament of the adrenaline rush of jumping after stocks left, right, and center. There are a lot of losses that will come with that. And even if you are very good, even the best schooled and trained traders usually lose money. But they won't tell you that because their whole idea is put up strategies whereby in the final analysis, your gains are more than your losses. All right? So these are the two specific kinds of people or categories of people in the stock market. If you understand this, you can find a way to know who you are and then begin to go ahead to acquire the knowledge required. So when you say, how can I know a good stock to buy? If you are a trader, go and learn technical analysis. It teaches you how to predict stock price movement. There is a whole lot of theory about that. And then there is also the fundamental analysis that talks about, technical analysis tells you the likely behavior of a stock in terms of its price movement based on historical data and momentum, what we call demand and supply, a history of transactions done, volume of transactions done, and all that. Now, that's apart from any sudden news around the corner. Then, of course, you have fundamental analysis that takes a good look at the health of the company. How profitable is it? How healthy is it to continue to stay alive? Because some companies are in so much debt, their earnings will not be enough to offset their debts in another 4 to 5 years. Such companies are about to die unless they do something very drastic to change that tide. So Fundamentalists are looking for the healthiest companies with the greatest prospects to continue to grow value for shareholders. The process of identifying such stocks or companies is called fundamental analysis. So for a long-term investor, you need to just get adept with fundamental analysis, while short-term traders want to learn about technical analysis. Then you use both methods for whatever category of investor you are. I think that's the way to go. Finally got my Atlas account today after 3 weeks. Peter Oladapo, congratulations, at least one headache off. A lot of times, what they can't do until whatever the hitches are elsewhere is sorted out. I'm seeing sterling drop to 7.95 kobo right now. Stock update, Zenith Bank is gaining about 30 kobo as we speak. 69 naira, in fact, 45 kobo, 69 naira, 45 kobo right now. There's a big gap I'm seeing there for Honeywell, Okomu, down 51 naira to 980 something naira per share. All right, keep the comments coming in. We love to see them. Good day, coach. I bought 600 GTCO at 101, and I'm thinking of selling to top up my 1 million challenge. Chinyere Joy, 600 GTCO. Now, that is too few to continue to hang on to. So, Chinyere, that's a very wise move because 600 GTCO, by the time they pay 5 naira per share final dividend, for example, or 6 naira per share, that would just amount to 3,600, right? Yes, 3,600. You don't need that. If GTCO even recovers to 100 naira, by the time it touches, say, 110 naira, that would just mean 800 and something naira, yes? Or 8,000 something naira in terms of capital gains. So it's better to divest from that GTCO and pursue after a 1 million share challenge, because in the end, there is more prospect for that 1 million challenge stock you have chosen to give you much more capital gains than GTCO will. For all of those expensive stocks that have gone high, the more the merrier. If you don't have enough, there's no need hanging on to them, as sound an investment as they are, unless you have a whole lot more money to pump into them to accumulate enough. Hello, coach. Good afternoon, sir. May and Baker dip today. Is it a good time to buy it now? Let's check what's happening with May and Baker. I'll get back to you. And for your information, this Chams just refuses to budge. It's now 3.79 kobo. Despite the fact the bid has increased from 7 million to 9 million, but you still have 24 million offers, right? Okay, so we go on to May and Baker. Let's see what May and Baker is all about and all up to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, May and Baker 15.90 kobo. I think that's a fair entry. These are the kind of stocks that can even drop further in November, December, by the way. 15.90 is quite an attractive entry price. And there are about 48,000 shares at that price before 16.05. So the lowest offer is 15.90 kobo. While I'm talking, somebody has snapped up 5,000 shares from that 48,000 shares on offer at that price. If you recall that this May and Baker rose to almost 20 naira before dipping, then 15 naira 90 kobo is a great pullback to collect from. Should there be any further dips in November, December, then you average down and, of course, lower your entry price further below 15.90. Yes? Unless someone is telling me perhaps they've seen the result is not so wonderful, the third quarter result, and that's why they're trying to offload. But I would doubt that, because the healthcare sector in Nigeria is just picking up after most of the foreign players left the scene. And so you have just Nigerian healthcare manufacturers on ground in that sector. Good day, coach. Have some money with like 2.5 million, and I need you to advise which stock I can buy. Ayomide, it depends on a whole lot of things. Well, best bargains in the market so far, I saw Wema 1740, still very okay, though it closed yesterday at 17 naira per share. So Wema looks very attractive at that price. One other stock I'm still looking at is, should NEM come below 27, it will look attractive, but I would rather wait till November, December to see if that happens. Currently 27. So do not go into NEM. Rather, look at stocks like TIP. Oh, TIP rose very fast from 12 to 1460. Now it's down to 14. So it looks like so much supply of TIP right now. We see how far it goes. 3 million shares offered versus 363,000 bids. So hopefully TIP is going to be dropping below 14, at least if not today, tomorrow. In fact, it's looking very likely today. And that means you wait until tomorrow. You know, Fridays are bargain days. And one thing I always mention here is find a way to also, there are all sorts of disciplines to learn if you want to succeed in this market. Number one, the discipline of saving money, because you need savings from which you should invest. Number two, even when you have saved, after disciplining yourself not to spend it on wants that will amount to nothing, you need another kind of discipline to stay on in the market to see the best stock to invest in, so that you don't just throw the money out because you have the money. Sometimes you need to wait. The money is there, opportunities are flying left, right, and center. You are still trying to make up your mind. Sometimes you could be so slow that while you are still thinking, the stock jumps. It happens a lot of the times. But by all means, be very convinced of the choice you are making before you go into the market with whatever you have. So the bottom line is that you have the cash now available to spend does not mean that you should blow it in the market. If you don't find bargains, you wait, especially when you are nearing bargains. But if it's a bullish market, fantastic. You have no time to waste. You've got to strike because stock prices are rising, so that the earlier you strike, the better, the earlier you start making gains. I hope that's clear. Musings and insights. As coach, I need to trim my exposure to banks. I have Jaiz, First Holdco, Access, Fidelity, which to drop. I'm surprised you don't have any of GTCO, Zenith, or UBA. You know, just the way we try to balance our portfolio with solid growth stocks, otherwise referred also to as blue chip stocks. We also need to balance the sectoral stocks in our portfolio to an extent. It's a good thing you do not have your portfolio full of the smallest banks. And if you like, I am thinking what to do here is to let go of one of the bigger ones amongst your pool of banks and bring in a stock like either Zenith or UBA into the mix. Yes, that will bring some level of stability. But if you really want to trim down number of banks you have, it also depends on how many other stocks make up your portfolio. If, for instance, your portfolio is made up of just 10 stocks or 8 stocks, and 4 out of 8 are banks, then I know you are too exposed to the banking sector. Like I said before, the increase we have experienced, the progress, the capital gains we have experienced, the price correction we have experienced in the banking sector is not likely to continue next year. I'm telling you this from hindsight. Bank stocks were heavily undervalued, underpriced for so long. And it only began to kick in when the CBN now realized that their capital base is too small, too low, based on the devaluation of the naira that happened 2 years ago. Now the banks have repriced. Second challenge is there are now more shares in circulation for banks because the banking sector and the insurance sector are the two most regulated sectors, particularly the banks. So every little time when the stocks are trying to gain flesh in terms of price movement, there is a dilution by creating new shares because they need to recapitalize so that banks do not go under and collapse, right? So that's the scenario with the banks. So to be overexposed in your portfolio to banks means that when the entire banking sector begins to slow down in terms of capital gains, your portfolio will experience a sluggish movement. Just like in 2024, if your portfolio was dominated by the industrial and manufacturing stocks, fast-moving consumer goods sectors, your portfolio must have been slowed down terribly because they all performed woefully due to foreign exchange losses, which led to losses in their financials, and then, of course, price dipping terribly until this year when things turned the corner and they started publishing interesting results. So this is why too much exposure to a particular sector is not the way to go. So on that note, back to your question. Which to drop amongst Jaiz, First Holdco, Access, and Fidelity? I love the fact that Jaiz is in the mix because it can help you with more capital gains fast because of how cheap it is. Now, amongst First Holdco, Access, and Fidelity, one to drop will be Access. No sentiments, not because of past performances, because if we're going strictly by past performances, First Holdco should be dropped. But because of future prospects that are now clearer with First Holdco, a lot of tidying up, cleanup has been done in First Holdco, and we are expecting changes to begin to show up. Fidelity is already performing better than First Holdco and Access. Honestly speaking, Fidelity has its stay there. Never mind the fact the price is still lower. But you know how the market does these things. A day will come, price correction will take place, and Fidelity will jump. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, in 16 minutes, the phone lines will be open on TikTok to take your calls. So prepare yourselves and make sure you call in early so we don't have to struggle towards the end when it's only 5 minutes to go. Sir, is Sovereign Insurance a good buy? I saw that they pay dividends. Sovereign is actually a good buy. Depends on how early you are coming into the mix. Let's see how much it is today. Sovereign Insurance. Currently 3 naira, same price as it closed yesterday. 52 weeks high is 396, and 52 weeks low is 53 kobo. Oh no, so 3.8 million bids, 8 million offers. So you want to wait and buy it. Make sure you don't buy at 3. Must be below 3. If possible, 2 naira 80 kobo or 2 naira 70 kobo. I think that's the ideal entry if you ask me. But at 2 naira 70 kobo, that will be the stock dropping the maximum 10% for the day before it can sell at that price. Currently 3 naira. So needs a little bit of patience there. Bought GTCO at 93, thinking of selling and buying stocks with lesser price. Babalola, do not just pursue lesser price stocks. These other higher priced stocks are the ones that will defend your portfolio should there be a market dip. You will lose more money with smaller stocks if your portfolio is dominated by smaller stocks. So you want to stay focused and possibly get fresh funds for any smaller stocks you want to buy. Coach, are there any factors contributing to the sustained upward trends observed in Eterna? I think there was an announcement that Eterna is also going to be involved in the distribution of Dangote refined petroleum products, just like you have MSR doing. And so people are hoarding Eterna and playing games with it. Currently, 2 million shares bidded for 0 offers, even though they've sold 537,000 shares in the market. This Eterna actually dropped to 27 after the news broke, and then went back up to 30. Yesterday it closed at 33. Now today it's at 37, full bid. A lot of times it's difficult running after all these things. If you had Eterna, or if you were able to buy at 27, then lucky you, because it's now 37 and full bid. But the way this stock also behaves is full bid today could mean full offer tomorrow. So that's the situation with Eterna. Well done, Coach. I have dropped some messages on Instagram regarding my Atlas account issue. Thanks, Harry Julie. All right, good day, Coach. I want to sell my Presco, only buy 150 shares this. I want to buy more. Joe Cross, your question is difficult to understand. Could you please reconstruct so I can be able to assimilate? Good day, Coach. Please, is it okay to buy IMPP at the current price? Glorious Gladys. Oh, your eyes are still on IMPP? All right, let me check what it is. I said it should dip below the $5 per share before I buy more. And after that astronomical rise, oh, wow. Yesterday it gained 4%. I wasn't even looking at it yesterday. Well, it gained 4% to 498 because I saw it dipping below 5, and that was another chance to actually buy. So what you will do, Glorious Gladys, make sure you are bidding below $5 per share, and you are going in with long-term funds. Everything I'm buying, most of them are long-term funds that I'm putting there, so I don't panic when it drops. I published my attempt to buy Uber 2 days ago. Uber was dancing around my limit price. I think I put in about $96.90 per share limit price. And the stock dropped to $96.95. Dilly-dally there until it jumped to 97 and went to 98. I didn't budge. Yesterday, it dropped back below where I bidded for it. And now, I was also refusing to buy. So, it's very interesting, the way the market behaves. And if you can be patient, you too can enjoy it. Hello, Coach. Thanks for your reply. You forgot the stocks you are looking at in October. And do you mean the stocks I'm looking at in the NGX? You know, with the NGX, I just come here and share whatever opportunity I see. Right? I don't know. This setting looks like it's not automatically replying those messages following the videos that I've been posting. I don't understand. I did it for yesterday. I did it for today. It's looking like I'm getting feedbacks that those stocks, even if I've imputed everything in the auto reply, I don't understand. Maybe I will check after the live stream. Hello, Coach. Between Chams and Cornhall, which one is better for 1 million challenge? Omona. I think I have about something close to a similar regard for both. And because both of them are in different sectors. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Chams, 3 Naira 50 kobo. It has been subdued heavily. You know, the seller has has packed about 5 million Chams right now. Remember the offer, the bids rose from 7 million to 9 million. Now we have just 4 million bids. So they have bought off a whole lot and depressed the stock price down to 350 kobo. It's up just a few seconds ago to 355. But that's the situation with Chams right now. And then for Cornhall, it's in a different sector, so it's difficult to compare both, but they are very good prospects. Anyone you go for, I am much more sure of Chams. Cornhall may need more time. The way it continues to fluctuate, it will rise above 4 and then suddenly drop to 380, 390. Normally, when a stock is consolidating for a bigger push, that always happens. Cornhall actually climbed to about, to about 6 naira per share before dropping to 4. And now to stay above 4, it's in a bit of a struggle, but it's only a matter of time before it consolidates and then climbs higher. Where can I start purchasing stocks from, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, let me also introduce our moderators. Maobi, please, I need you in the house. Benita, I need you in the house. Let's see quickly whether we can respond to some of these questions as I continue to hunt for more opportunities in the market. If you are available, please call in. I need you to respond to this very question here. I'm talking about the question from Fella Green. Fella Green, just a moment. My co-hosts and admins are coming on board. They will give you a quick response. Hello, Maobi. Very good afternoon. A constant star in this place.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon to everybody in the house. Very happy to be here again today.
Hello, Maobi. Can you hear me now? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, hello.
Change approach.
Yeah, hello, Coach. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Very good afternoon. It's good to have you here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Coach, and good afternoon to everybody in the house today. Glad to be here again.
Fella Green.
Yeah, right. Regarding the question you just raised from Bella Green, I believe, was asking where he or she can buy a stock. And this is basically how it works. You will need to open a stock brokerage account, right? Through this stock brokerage account, you'll be able to, see the live prices of the stocks in the market. Through the same account, you'll be able to bid. Through the same account, you'll be able to buy and hold. So your stock brokerage account is basically your investment vehicle through which you can transact in the market. And for us in Network Investors Club, and for me personally as an individual, I always recommend for investors to go for brokers that will give them a couple of good, advantages in the market. And the first on that list is real-time transmission of data, right? Believe me, you don't want to be stuck with any broker that will be presenting outdated prices to you, which is basically what you find on some of the apps you'll find on the market. So find yourself a licensed broker with a real-time access to the market. Find yourself a broker that will charge you reasonable commission, both buying and selling commission. You have to remember that we are in this to make money. So the less you pay in terms of commission, of course, the more profitable you are when you are buying and selling. At least your chances will increase. Also, find yourself a broker that will be very proactive in terms of responding to your issues, in terms of trying their best to, make your investment journey really, really stress-free. So that is basically how you can buy in the market.
Thank you very much. Grace, that Stephen is asking, Coach, is Tantalizers good for the 1 million challenge? I think, but you've got to be very, very patient with that because we've not really got sufficient feedbacks as to which way the stock is headed. Spunky412 says, good afternoon, Coach. Please, can I transfer from one broker to another? Absolutely, you can. All you need to do is send a request to the broker you want to transfer to, that you need to transfer your stocks from another broker. Then they will give you a share transfer form, complete, send to them, and then the process begins. Usually, the handshake between two brokers when it comes to transferring stocks is not always palatable. That's because it's almost like you want to remove food from my table or you want to remove food from my mouth. However you look at it, it's understandable, and so you have to stay patient so that the process is completed. It takes time, especially for brokers that are uncooperative towards a transfer of their clears. Right? Darren Fagbore is giving us an update that PZ has released their results. Okay, head over straight to the NGX site, looking for PZ's report. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm seeing post-board meeting notification. That's what I'm seeing about PZ. It will be good to see the results if it is out. But let me take a look at what it is. Post-board meeting notification. This is to notify our esteemed shareholders, the investing public and the Nigerian exchange, that the board of directors of PZ held a meeting on Monday, 29 September to consider and approve, amongst other things, the company's unaudited financial statements. The board further resolved to hold the company's AGM December 3rd, 2025. Okay, so this press release or circular doesn't have the results. I'm sure they would have uploaded this elsewhere, but it hasn't appeared yet on the NGX website. Oh yes, Q1 financial statement for 2026. Okay, I found it. Let's see how it looks with PZ. Okay, Fair Nisha says it was released September 30th. All right, for the first quarter, Q1 2025-2026 financial year, ended 31st August. I'll go straight to the summary page and take a good look. Revenue rose 48% from 39 billion to 59 billion. Oh wow, that's a blowout performance there. You mean it? Operating profit, PZ went from a loss of 4 billion naira to a profit of 21.5 billion. There must have been an extraordinary item there. We will find out from the notes, but time will not permit me to go into all of those details. That's a 627% jump from the previous. Let's go away from the profit before tax and proceed to tax. Profit after tax, from a loss after tax of 4.6 billion to a profit after tax of 13 billion, 390% increase. Okay? Excellent performance there, if you ask me. Earnings per share will surge from a loss per share of 1 naira 16 kobo loss per share to 3 naira 29 kobo profit. This is awesome. Great performance. So all you need to do is now check if you see an extraordinary income. What is an extraordinary income? Income that came in from not doing the regular business.
income that came in not from the regular day-to-day business that the company is involved in. That's an extraordinary income. For instance, they have all sorts of properties across Nigeria. Some of them, maybe because of management decision to trim down and focus on the core business, they decide to sell off some properties. Such income or revenue is treated as extraordinary. So you don't get confused or deceived by such a shoot. Where such income becomes interesting is when you see that it is a result of the regular day-to-day business that they carry out. So when you are studying financial statements, go through the notes. That's where you see all of those details, but time will not permit us. And that's why financial statements are very, very, very voluminous. Some of them 150 pages, some of them 23 pages. So a whole lot of reading is required, to fish out these things. But let's see what the effect is on the stock price of PZ in the market right now as we speak, because we need to see what the market is responding or reacting to as we speak. Yesterday, PZ closed at 34 naira 50 kobo. Today it's at 37 naira 95 kobo. 24 million shares bidded for, 0 offers. Now we know why PZ is on full offer. It's on full bid. I beg your pardon. PZ has always been a 50-50 situation. We are not too sure what will happen and so on. It was dilly-dallying left, right, and center. The market's attention has finally been drawn. Actually, as we speak, sometimes that's what the market does. PZ has a blowout report after all the confusion around the stock. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Time to take your calls on TikTok. Benita is also standing by. Hello, Benita. Please join us as one of our moderators for the day and co-hosts. Let's see how far we deal with this. So we have already 3 callers standing by. Wow, 7 callers already. Interesting stuff. KMA Village Square is here. Benita, could you say your hi to the house before we proceed?
Good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon. It's good to have me this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Benita. So off we go onto the lines as we take your calls. KMA Village Square, first caller. Muftau Dauda, second caller. Then we will take K Black, third caller. Please keep your environments quiet. We are actually informing you to do so ahead of time before your call is taken or before you are called up. So please tidy up, right? First caller has been lost. We go on to the next. Straight away, Muftau Dauda. So ladies and gentlemen, the way to play this PZ game now is to watch and see how high it goes. Can you imagine, as I'm talking to you now, the highest bidder and on top of all the other bids for the highest price that PZ can sell for today is 10 million shares. One individual has put in 10 million shares worth of bids for PZ. That is to say, 370 million naira has been staked by one person for PZ. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from?
Hello, good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon, sir. I'm streaming for Ibadan.
There is too much noise in your background.
I'm streaming for Ibadan.
Could you slow down, stay at a place, stay calm, and talk?
Yes, I'm in a quiet place, but I'm on earpiece. Maybe I should remove that. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Please take it off. Take it off. It's making all sorts of noises. You are running down the time.
Hello, Coach.
Remove your earpiece before we remove you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm not sure
Muftau from
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Ibadan, please go ahead.
From Badon, yes. Yes, sir. Coach, thank you so much for all you've been doing. May God reward you abundantly. Blessings and protection from God may be on your family. Should be on your family by God's grace. Coach, I want to
Amen.
say something. Maybe if there's any stock on a US stock or international stock that is less than $5, if you can work on that for us so that we can benefit to do with that have little fund that doesn't have much fund to accumulate much on the bigger one. So if we have the little ones that is less than $5, like that of the IMPP you were seeing the last time. So, and if there's anyone that has that is on a monthly dividends or weekly, that will benefit every one of us. Please kindly work on that side for us. May God be with you, sir.
Thank you very much. But if you have been a part of this, then you won't be asking me to come back to a lot of the things that has already been done. And the beautiful thing is that we also try to share this by uploading the videos on YouTube. It's looking like nobody wants to do the hard work. Everybody just wants every time bring this and that. If you've been here before, I am gold was mentioned at $5 per share. Eventually, I am gold is now about $12 or $13 per share. TTI was mentioned at around $2 or so per share. I don't know what TTI is now. IMPP was, I started following it at 3, but I first mentioned at 4 something, got to 5, it's down to 498 as at yesterday, even though that yesterday's movement was a 4% gain to 498. If you are paying close attention, you would have heard all of the times when I come up with these stocks. NVAX, Novavax was mentioned at around $5 per share. I think now it's around $8 per share. There are so many of them like that. TTI was at 3. Sir. Let me check what TTI is. That's Tetra Technologies. I'm sure somebody is listening to me now who also bought Tetra. Now it's at 5. In fact, it's at 585, pre-market 595. So these things have been mentioned over and over. NEO was also mentioned I was at 4. Now NEO is around 7.
Yes, I was in when you talk about IMPP, TTI, and AUMB. Yes, I was in when you mentioned this one.
Even at 50 something.
You said penny. Yes, you said so. You said so then. I was in.
So you are not satisfied.
I'm good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Goodness gracious. AUMB went from 50 something cents to $1 as we speak. Yesterday, AUMB gained 17.58%. Awesome. All right, thank you very much. We go on to the next caller. Muftau Dauda, keep enjoying from where you are. Next caller, K Black. You see? CAUMB. If you watched one of the videos I shared my screen on YouTube, I've still not forgotten, I think it was still last week. That AUMB was on that screen. I'm trying to recall that it was around 57 or 54 cents. And I'm seeing AUMB now at 107. $1.07. That's 50% profit in 1 week. Goodness gracious. Okay, next caller did not connect. That's talking about K Black. We go on to, K Black.
Hello, Coach. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from, sir?
My name is Ali. I'm streaming from Birmingham, UK.
Thank you very much, Ali from Birmingham. Appreciate your presence. Go ahead.
So, Coach, I want to thank you for all you do and the way you have been helping our lives. For 2 years now, I've been following you.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. I want to thank you for keep following because it takes another level of discipline to stick around for 2 straight years.
Yeah. True. And I'm really happy that I did take such discipline. I'm happy about that.
Awesome.
So, Coach, right now, sometime last month, I used to hear you speak about the crash in the stock market towards November. So I have a lot of stocks and I want to buy more, but I don't know if I should sell and wait for the November crash down, or because I'm a long-time investor. I'm not a trader, I'm a long-term investor. So I have Zenith, I have QTX, I have NIDF, I have Fidelity. I have about 8 stocks and I want to top them up. I have about 250,000 right now to top them up. So which one will you advise me, sir?
Actually, as far as you're a long-term investor, you shouldn't worry about whether market dips or not anymore. When you have the money, you keep bargain hunting. The reason is because sometimes history is not repeated as well.
Okay.
Nobody is a superhuman to know tomorrow. We do not have a crystal ball here. All I have are all sorts of microphones like this. If it's not this one, it's this one. If it's not this one, then it's this one. There's
Okay.
no crystal ball. So, what to do is at this time that you want to buy, look for the best, most sensible in terms of share price and go in, enjoy your cozy long term ride. That is the most peaceful way to invest in the stock market and not to try to anticipate prices and so on. You can also prepare for what we have known history to be, which is November, December. November, December might come and suddenly, for the first time in the history, and that's what you will hear. Next day, you will see us making video. For the first time in the history of the stock market, this, that happened.
Sure.
Recently, there was a publication that a research was done and they found that more Americans are now involved in stocks than ever, leaving money in stocks than ever. So every time there is an anticipated crash, it may not happen because of the change in dynamics, the change in demographics in terms of the people who are now in stocks. There are more younger people investing more millions and billions of dollars in stocks than there were before now. So it may not continue to be the old order. This is me preparing your mind in the best possible scenario so that whatever the market brings, you are not pained. For instance, if the dynamics changes and November, December does not now lead to a stock market decline, then you're not too disappointed,
True.
right? But should that time come and you have money, you deploy
Okay.
judiciously, knowing fully well that you can never have the best of stock prices unless at that time. So you can easily buy any stock that time and still make money in January, February. But if it has to be long term, then it has to be fundamentally sound stocks.
Okay. So
So
which one will
basically,
you
that's
advise
it.
for me to top on this list? QTX, Zenith, NIDF, Cadbury, Julius Berger.
I am thinking Julius Berger has been punished terribly after the poor results, and they might just surprise us with something great. But again, it depends on the volume you already have.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure, sir.
Okay, on to our next set of callers. Alayonde, Dakev, and Ramon. Let's go with Alayonde. Coach, speak about stocks that may dip during November, December. Joshua, just as I have just explained, I have only microphones, all sorts here, and not a crystal ball. I can't tell which stock will dip in November, December. Basically, most stocks just dip or trade sideways by that time. So there is no exemption because during that time, there's no reports to look forward to. All interim dividends have been paid. Most people are now liquidating stocks from the stock market to fund festive expenses. That's why. So to be different is to take full advantage of that by looking for money to buy stocks. When people are spending money to buy cars, houses, festive expenses, going for vacation, Christmas holiday expenses. You are putting money and taking their stocks that they will be selling down cheaper. And then we all return in January to watch our money grow like grass. Please, Coach, what's your take on Northern Nigerian flour mills? Grateful. Northern Nigerian flour mills has remained stagnant and we have no idea what happens. All we know is that the parent company got delisted and they were also going to delist Honeywell flour. News has it that Northern Nigerian flour mills will follow in the delistment. So we are all waiting. Right. Hi, Coach. What stock can I buy with 1 million for a long time as a starter? Ahmed Oseni or Lalekon as a starter. I would say go for maybe 2 stocks. Split the 1 million into 2. Buy 1 bank. That could mean UBA. Currently 43 naira, meaning you can acquire about, is it 100,000 UBA would mean 4 million. Okay, 4.3 million, right? All right. So you take 10,000 UBA, okay, and then proceed to buy TIP with the other 500,000. That's it. Duke O-Town says, how do I join your group? To join Network Investors Club, Duke is asking. Benita, could you respond, please? Duke is on Instagram, but he can hear you if you speak. He says, how do I join your group?
All right, so to join the Networks Investors Club, what you just need to do is send Coach a DM on his Instagram. It's called the app is Discord app. So what you need to do is download that app first. It's just like your WhatsApp. So you download the app first. Then after downloading, send him a DM on his Instagram to send you the link. The reason you are requesting for link is because of security, so that we don't just have fraudsters in the group. So the link keeps changing from time to time. So you need the current link when you want to register. So just send him a DM, ask him for the link, and he's going to send to you. But follow him first.
Thank you very much, Benita. Hello, Coach. Please, between Chams and Cornhole, which is better for a 1 million challenge? I think I responded to that. Most of the questions I've responded to on Instagram are still coming back. As a diasporian, how can we start investing in shares? Sam, the photography. Maobi, can you respond to this? You've been a diasporan yourself, so please respond to Sam. He's on Instagram. He can hear you. I repeat the question. As a diasporan, how can we start investing in shares? Maobi, the microphone is yours.
Yeah, Coach, you are very right. I have been and I am still. And I can tell you, investing in the stock market back home here in Nigeria will be one of the best decisions you can ever take. And the reasons are not very far-fetched, right? We live abroad and we try to hustle, we try to work, we try to push. You need to have something to fall back on, and you need to, build something back home that you can look back on and you can be confident that when I was putting in this effort, this was what I was able to achieve. Now, for everybody living in the diaspora listening to us today, I want you to do away with one thing first before I even go into how you can start. I want you to do away with that mentality that nothing works in Nigeria. You are very wrong, believe me. Nothing is perfect anywhere. But do we have good systems here that can reward you in the future? Yes, we do. And the reason why you should have very good confidence in this system is the fact that many institutions institutional investors or many institutional funds are coming from foreign investors. So if foreigners are taking very good advantage of our stock and money market, why not we who are, the citizens of this country? So for you to start, it's a very easy and simple process, like we are doing here on a daily basis. You need to get all the knowledge that you need, first of all. You need to understand how the market works. If you come into the Nigerian market with the same mentality, like maybe you are living in the America, or you are living in Europe, or you are living in Asia, these continents have different peculiarities regarding to their stock market. So you need to understand how the NGX works, what makes it peculiar, what makes it special, and how you can take advantage and be really profitable. Once you understand how the market works, then you need to choose your investment vehicle, which is your stock brokerage account. Your brokerage account will allow you to buy, bid, sell, and hold your stock investment when you get to that point. And for this purpose, we recommend that you go for a broker with real-time access to the market, with reasonable commissions, that is licensed and also proactive in terms of being responsive to whatever problems you might meet in your investment journey. Once you get those two things out of the way, then you need to take that very delicate but also simple decision of choosing the stock to buy. Again, I advise everybody, when it gets to that point, you don't need to be sentimental about it. The figures should do the talking for you and should guide your decision. The numbers should do that. Even if you are affiliated to a company in any way, that doesn't mean you must invest in that company. Even if you hear people talking about Aradel, that doesn't mean you should invest in Aradel. You have to go back, check the fundamentals of Aradel, check the technical analysis of Aradel, and be sure that it aligns with your long-term, mid-term, or short-term goals, right? The last pointer I want to leave with everybody here today is that in everything that you do, in any kind of business that you are currently doing, once you have a support group of people doing the same thing, once you have a support group of people who are very much experienced in that business, people who have gone through challenges in that business in the years past, and also people who can advise you that this is the way to go, this is not the time to panic, these are the normal things you see in the market, then you will be sure that you can be more sustainable in that market, because you'll be more confident to navigate. So a support group is very important, and this is why we have Network Investors Club here. Join this group, it's free of charge. Again, to everybody listening, whether you're in the diaspora or whether you are a Nigerian in Nigeria, joining Network Investors Club is free. Starting your investment journey is free. It's a do-it-yourself club, and you don't need to give your money to anybody. You don't need to tell somebody to open an account for you. You can run your account, you can do your investment, and I guarantee you will be profitable, and you'll be very happy that you did. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Maobi. That was very concise. I'm sure any other person who had such a question must have been satisfied with your take. There is no better way to get an information other than someone who experiences what you are experiencing. Talking about being a diasporan, you already know your fears, and the person can easily relate and give you further updates. This is not a club or community where you are compelled to bring somebody that will bring somebody who will bring somebody. This is the typical Nigerian community that looks out for others and celebrate our wins together. Pool resources, pool our network and forces together to grow together. That's the real Nigerian spirit. And as much as we are committed to doing this, we will pull a lot more people out of poverty. The reason why you are the most unique set of listeners, followers, and viewers, right now we're talking on only 2 platforms. We used to be on 5 platforms altogether. I'm looking at the screen now. I'm seeing 341 live participants on TikTok and 124 live participants on Instagram. That's a total of over 460 participants. You are 460 special breeds who value knowledge so much that you can sit down and take it for free. You know how they say it? Something that is not paid for is not valued. So the best places to see the most disciplined people is in a place where things are done for free. Because it is free, a lot of people can easily despise it and just walk away. But when they pay for it, they are compelled to sit down. So, can I tell you this? You are amongst the most disciplined people who really know value when they find one. And that is why I'm here once again to congratulate all of you. Every other system can fail, but when you see people who are willing to put in efforts to better the lot of others for free, then you've got the best set of human beings somewhere together on the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, we go on to the next set of callers. Thank you very much once again, Maubi, for that concise, precise, and very clear take. So we have Lucky God Bless. Next caller.
Hello,
Lucky God
Coach.
Bless. Next caller. Please, your name and where you're streaming from.
All right, my name is Lucky Goddess. I'm streaming from Delta State, Nigeria.
Lucky from Delta State, Nigeria. Thank you very much. Please go
All
ahead.
right, okay. Yes, before I proceed, I would like to say if you are not following Coach, you are losing money.
All right.
Coach,
Interesting.
yeah. So I don't have a question, Coach, today. I just want to thank you for all you have done. I get to discover about you last year. So from January to now, I can feel the impact in my life and in my portfolio and in all around as a whole. Like the way it is now, I've learned a lot that I'm not afraid of maybe anything going wrong like market crash. I will just see it as an opportunity to buy more once you just say the fundamentals of the stock are see in a good term. So and I would like to motivate some new people here that everything there's a price being paid for it. So when you see your stock going down, don't just felt like sell off and go off with the loss, because those volatility and fear are the price paid for this success. Because I've been there, I've seen it in my portfolio. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, Lucky. Really appreciate your feedback. You know,
Thank
even the feedback itself, not everybody will call and say, oh, this is what has happened, nice one. Just the same way some people can be disappointed in something and not talk about it. But you see, he has no question just to still encourage people that look, something good is happening here. I've witnessed it. If you are interested, stick around. All right, I've told you before, I'm in your life to help you walk away from situations you don't like. A lot of things are happening because of money. When you settle the money question in your life, every other thing falls in line. I can tell you for free. Next caller, J. Ace.
Hello, coach.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming
Good afternoon.
from?
My name is Jay Ace. I'm streaming from China. I don't have a question per se. I just want to say a big thank you to you regarding my daughter's bank account. I remember a few months ago, I told you that I would like to have my daughter open a bank account so I can buy her some stocks. I asked my first stockbroker, Morgan Capital. They said it was impossible. But you put me in touch with the lady from Atlas, and she put me in touch with somebody from UBA, and I can tell you that I got everything sorted out. Despite the fact that my daughter's case is special because she doesn't have a Nigerian passport, and she says so it's a little bit complicated, but the guy got it done. So I'm thanking you
Awesome.
big time for that. I really, really appreciate that because I thought, it's gonna be impossible, but it worked out fine. So anybody, if you're abroad and your kid doesn't have a Nigerian passport, you want to do it, get in touch. I can give you the contact, the UBA guy. I think he knows they know people from Atlas or something like that, but it works out fine. So thank you very much once again. So guys, if you're not following uh coach, you're losing not only money but some other stuff as well. Thank you very much, coach. God will continue to bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, J Ace. Now, just in case you are joining us for the first time, your eyes should be opening to the kind of community we are. We are building not just wealth for the now, but generational wealth. And that's taking our children along the line. This is one very intentional father who will not rest until he also puts his daughter on the line and the path of wealth creation. How I wish our parents had the privilege, the opportunity to do this. They were not in the communication and information technology age, and so you can spare them. Now, for you watching and listening, what's your excuse? Because what you can't help them do and learn now will become almost like a hit and run 50-50 chance that they will ever do it. Remember, parents and teachers are the first two biggest influences on children. That's why you can keep dishing out instruction to your child. Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. What they end up doing is what you are doing, so that they become the you in a small body. Best way to give them a head start is to begin to get them involved from now. So congratulations, J Ace. You persisted even as discouraging as it was, and you have now broken the ice. I hope that so many others learn from this and begin to do what's needful for their children. That you are abroad doesn't mean your child is no longer a citizen. Sometimes the best opportunities are in Africa, and of course, in our case, in Nigeria. Thank you very much. That was a fantastic feedback. All right, next caller, Tina. While we are still trying to connect with Tina, Coach, I'm finding it difficult to open Atlas account. Only, unfortunately, Atlas is still not in the house with us today. Hopefully, they will be in tomorrow so we can try to sort some of these things out. Real Housing says, how do I join the community? Simply follow me on Instagram. Please, I repeat, it's on Instagram. I can easily respond to your messages. Send me a DM requesting to join Net Worth Investors Club. And then I'll send you the link. It expires from time to time. So even if you find the link elsewhere, it must have expired. That's because we want to protect the safety and cybersecurity of members of that group. We are now over 3,500 members, and we cannot afford to let them be exposed to fraudsters. Also, please be informed, anybody who uses my DP to follow you is a scammer. I have no backup account. Should any of these social media handles decide to close my account, I open another one. All for your defense. I don't follow back because I don't want you to get confused that you are chatting with me when those fraudsters comes to defraud you. So what I don't tell you in public, do not accept from someone who claims to be me in secret. They will come and start telling you, download an app. How is your crypto doing? I will show you one investment that does this and that. No. Please, when you join the club, ask questions openly. Everybody is seeing. The very sincere ones are there, and there is no struggle at all. Everybody is sharing knowledge freely in that group. Please take note. Coach, God bless you, sir. Hello, El Olam Farms. Thank you very much, El Olal. Next caller. We couldn't get the last caller in, so let's go with Gio. Coach, you made mention of Exord on one of your posts on TikTok. What platform do you talk about crypto? Do you mean what platform do I use to invest in crypto? Well, I use Luno and Bybit and Luno. Hello, good afternoon. Gio, are you there? Good afternoon. Maybe Gio dialed in error, so we will let him go and take Ajiboye so we can redeem the time.
Good afternoon,
Wema
sir.
Bank, good afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Yeah, my name is Temitope. I am streaming from the UK. And yes, my question is this, Coach. I've gotten my answer to the part of Exod.
Okay.
Then, to that of Alibaba, I just need your insight as to, is this still a good buy? Can I still go into it, and at what entry price, please?
Just tell me, are you staying long term?
No, not really. I'd rather stay long term on Niger stocks.
Okay, if you're not staying long term, you may not go in for Alibaba now.
Okay.
When you could have gone in for Alibaba was when I mentioned at 115. Some people still went in as late as 125. It was still okay for short term. For now, what they have announced can cause a pop up to $200. Then it could just dip back, and what takes more time before it will go past 200, 250. So if it was a long-term plan or long-term funds you were going in with, then I would say not too late. Then the strategy would have been, just in case there's somebody trying to consider this, the strategy would have been go in at 180, though in pre-market it's already doing 188, go in at 180, then should it ever dip below that to 170, 160, you buy more for the long haul. But since you are dealing with swing trade funds, I guess you will stay away because it's already gone very high. 180.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Too great is our next caller. When screening for daily stock trading, do you focus only on technicals or consider fundamentals? Uwin Kazo, that daily trading list I always publish, right? Not on Instagram at all. It's always not on TikTok at all. That's always on my threads handle, my Twitter handle, and then maybe some sometimes my LinkedIn. Then, of course, regularly in the Discord group. Now, some of us don't even understand how to navigate the Discord group. When you get into the Discord group, you will land in a landing page. From there, a welcome message will be dropped. Read to the end, understand everything. Then follow the links to channel 1, NGX channel, talking about Nigerian stocks. The other channel, we call it foreign stocks channel. That foreign stock channel will discuss mostly long-term stocks, swing trade stocks, and so on. Then the other one is the day trade channel, where only day trade transactions or discussions are going on there. So if you don't know, you may just be in a place and thinking, oh, what's going on here? No discussions. That means you have been on the landing page where there is no discussion. So when you get into the landing page, read through the welcome message to the end and then locate where you want. And anywhere you want, you can go through the links to those other channels to get maximum results from your being in the group, right? Okay. Do we have Too Great now? Too Great, are you there? Good afternoon. Can you unmute your mic and speak if you are there?
Please, I cannot talk now because where I am, there is so much noise. I will be here listening.
It's okay. Thank you very much. We'll let you go. Next caller is June Baby. June Baby. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from when there is a connection. Okay, we've lost June Baby. We've lost all the callers. We've also lost Maobi. Maobi, if you can hear me, you can find your way up again. And if you called in and got lost in the process of time, please call back in as I continue to take your comments. Midex Stitches says, once I get money, I'll start the join your live mentor. Thank you very much. Feel free. We are here for you. Toot a Toot says, hi coach. Would like to know your thoughts on taking more NACO now. Honestly speaking, if you need more NACO, as you can see, the stock has been stubbornly refusing to drop below 100. That's the way to go. Go ahead, take your NACO now. After now, NACO will fly even higher. Hello, coach. Please, what price is best to buy Aradel and Dangote sugar today? Abiodun. I'll check first off Aradel in alphabetical order. 615 naira 50 kobo as we speak now. 1.5 million bids versus 853,000 offers. As it stands, best price you can get Aradel is 610. I've seen it trade that low and nothing lower, maybe, just maybe. And then, of course, if you want it immediately, 615 naira per share. Dangote sugar is the other one you mentioned. Let's take a look. Dang sugar trading at yesterday's closing price of 61 naira per share. 4.8 million bids versus 2.3 million offers. So the bids are more than the offers. Pressure is on the buyers. Highest bidder is at 60 naira 80 kobo per share. And I think the price has just dropped to 60 naira 80 kobo. Just 10 stocks bought. I'm sure that's a setup there to drop the price. But let's see how it goes. So you are either putting in bids at 60 naira 80 kobo to stay behind 23,000 bids, or you are buying immediately at 61. Otherwise, you want to stay more patient and you bid at 60 naira 60 kobo and wait behind 337,000 shares bidded for. Hello, coach. What one or two stocks can I invest 3 million in for 3 to 6 months investment? JAs. 3 to 6 months brings us perfectly in line to sell around February, which is a good exit time. In fact, if not end of January, February, good exit period. Great timing, if you ask me. So, what stocks looks that interesting? based on that timeline. I will look through and say, Wema Bank at 17 today, almost trading below 17 right now, looks like a good take. One, I would look at USCN the second time and anticipate that at 66.90, which is it has dropped to now, that will be a good one by the time the full year result is released around February, because then this stock shouldn't be selling at this price. Then again, I will look elsewhere and go take another look at TIP and get in there quietly. For that TIP, I will now be patient to know whether tomorrow is a good time, because it's at 14 naira 25 kobo now. Just a few bids above at 14 and above, or 107,000, it could drop to 13. From that 13, then down to 12 would be good, especially considering the fact we have 467,000 bids versus 3.2 million offers. So pressure is on the sellers. Tomorrow will be a good time to see if it drops below 14, which I see the likelihood, or November, December, if it ever drops below this. These are the 2 or 3. Hello, coach. How can I place a limit buy that could last more than a day if it doesn't buy on Atlas? Gentle soul. Such timeline, I don't think exists on this Atlas platform. Some companies or some brokers have such timelines. It's called time in force. And the time in force, there are only 3 options: day, fill or kill, immediate or cancel straight away. So this platform does not allow for putting a longer time frame beyond a day. But if you are using some other platform, maybe you will find that. Are there more callers? I've been waiting for you, right? Thank you very much. Maobi is back. Then we have a caller, Mir Flex. Let's hear from Mir Flex. JA says, thanks, coach. I have all the stocks you mentioned, so I'll just average up. Yeah, sometimes. Okay. Do you have Dangote cement as well? That's showing some great signs. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, Mayor. Good afternoon. Mayor Flex, are you there? Is Mayor Flex there? Okay, Jerry Osim says it's IMPP and Uber. Still a good buy? Absolutely. If you ask me, IMPP has come back to under 5, which is not bad. How low it drops under 5, within the 4 range, we can't really tell, but that's a safe entry for a long term, though you could treat it as a swing trade. So, ladies and gentlemen, Uber, having closed yesterday at $96.61, is showing $97.01 in pre-market. Now, I may try to buy Uber today at 96 and not 97. But Uber is actually a $100 plus stock right now. My uncle bought shares from Fidelity Bank and Cooperative Bank, now Polaris. Please, how can I track? Just Google search the registrars of Fidelity Bank and then proceed to contact the registrars by filling out the e-dividend mandate form for your uncle. But the easiest and best approach is to do this through a broker, and that means he has to open a brokerage account and then proceed from there to complain to the broker, who will now show him what to do, because registrars seems to trust dealing with clients that are coming through brokers, because the brokers would have done their due diligence following the regulatory requirements of KYC and all that. You get the point now? So that's the way it works. Coach, what can you say about Sterling Bank offer? I've said over and over that 7 Naira Sterling Bank, great offer. Go ahead and buy, but the offer is closed, Mr. P. I hope you took position. All users, please, coach, what is happening to Unity Bank? Well, nothing unusual. After failing to submit their financial statements repeatedly, the stock was suspended from trading for more than 1 year. And most recently, they have helped them with a merger with Providus Bank. And now that merger will lead to them being acquired. So the stock price was suspended from trading at 1 Naira 51 kobo per share. And then they have also declared that they will be paying off existing shareholders as part of the merger procedures, 3 Naira 80 something kobo per share. So Fidelity Bank shareholders, Unity Bank shareholders are about to reap at least 100% as far as the last trading price was. The question for everybody else is, how much did they buy? Unity Bank eventually was being bidded for some time after the suspension was lifted, but I think nothing is going on again with the bank. They have decided to stay action on trading the stocks until they are done. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 minutes more. Are there still callers? Let's see if there are. No caller yet. Mirflex, I guess, called in by mistake. So let's go ahead with your questions. My quantum stocks are over 300%. Hold, sell, and any effect of US government shot to the stock market. Victor Wealth, you are in real wealth already. 300% in US dollar stocks. That speaks volumes. I don't know how long you have been in this already, but it's so interesting to see someone is bagging 300%. Can I tell you something? You don't even know how unique this whole community is. I have been receiving DMs on Instagram, particularly from foreigners who confide in me how they've registered in different places and losing money left, right, and center. A particular guy, he's Spanish. He has lost $15,000 investing and following and paying and following, I don't know what it is, whoever he was following and paying for services to get, what did they call it, signals. That guy lost $15,000. And I was there consoling him, not to worry, just take it easy, have the right mindset, blah, blah, blah. Long and short is, you are making 300%, somebody is losing $15,000. That's how important the knowledge we share here is. Some of you don't know the kind of DMs I receive, and sometimes it's good to just mention this. As far as the identity of the individual is not disclosed, and we actually learn from any of these, then it's important for us to really, really appreciate what we have and stay at it and keep building. When you see statements like, if you $1,000 invested in NVIDIA 10 years ago would have been blah, blah, blah. We are tired of hearing that. We want to be the ones who did it. That's why we are buying stocks like IMPP, stocks like Exod, stocks like ACMR. How many of us remember ACMR? ACMR that we started buying at $19 per share. ACMR now we are talking about how much? Just hold on. The first time I mentioned ACMR here was 19. Can you guess how much ACMR is right now? Somebody type it there. Type it there. How much is ACMR now? From 19, it's now $43, and it was within this year. 19 times 2 is how much? $38. So if you bought ACMR when it was mentioned at 19, you are more than 100% in profit. Thank you very much, Tolu Walase. Appreciate your feedback, Vic and D2. You see that? In pre-market, ACMR is flashing $44.59 already. All right, I have a witness in the house. Chukzi Nurse par excellence says, I bought at 22. So maybe at the second or third mention was when Chukzi Nurse bought. From 19, he got to 22, she bought. And, or is it he bought? And it might have dipped along the line, but they didn't sell because I mentioned particularly it's a long-term stock. Look at ACMR now, $44.59 in pre-market. Immaculate says she bought at 23. So we are not just making it up here. And this is the whole idea. Now, Zinkaira says, I bought 29. Can you beat that? After $10 per share increase, Zinkaira still bought. And can I shock you? I also bought 3 days ago at 38 per share. Oh my God. Are you seeing it? Jira says I bought at 21.8. Dr. Tool says I bought at 24. Are you just joining us? We are not making it up here. When we find gold, we know how to hold. Now that's a rhyme I didn't think about, it just dropped. When we find gold, I'll put it as one of my quotes somewhere now. When we find gold, we know how to hold. Come on now. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes to go. I'm so delighted that people are really, wow, Tolu Walase, you bought at 19. You see that? Are you seeing that? Shegun Araoye says he bought at 26. So Tolu Walase struck immediately the information was shared. $19 per share, and now it's flashing 44.59 in pre-market. Come on now. Who says we are not in the best place? Sherin Coco says, Coach, I bought some stocks on my marital name, but now divorced. How can I claim my shares, please? Very simple. Just gather all of your marriage papers, talking about the marriage certificate copies, and of course, newspaper publication of those copies. Then also package the divorce papers, and then all of it you put together, and you will get everything that belongs to you. Send me a DM on Instagram. Please be sure it's on Instagram. And I will personally link you up with a broker to follow through with you. But you have to get hold of those documents I've just mentioned because they are very vital to your claiming your stocks. What belongs to you belongs to you. And there are very neat, legitimate ways to go about them. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've come to the end of today's live stream. I hope you got something, and I hope you are staying strong, right? Been tracking the till rate since you mentioned it, but had fund issues. Can I go in at $1.68? I'm anticipating a huge pullback. Usually when they fly up like that, they pull back before you enter, because what actually the stocks reacted to has not been implemented yet. Oh, wow, 166 now. Okay, 168 in pre-market. Yes, that's true. Can you beat that 5 days? The last 5 days, Tilray has done 40%. I anticipate a pullback. Just stay on. Stay on and wait for it to drop. When we find gold, we know how to hold. Oh my God, thank you very much. African Food Hub and Errands, Navigate World, you guys are simply amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 p.m. Nigerian time when we call it a day. Tomorrow is another day. But please let me welcome Maobi and then Benita to say their goodbyes as we try to wrap up.
Yeah, Coach, thank you for your time today. Thank you to everybody that tuned in today. It's been a very, enlightening session as always, and we look forward to be here again tomorrow. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you very much, Maobi, Benita, your goodbyes.
Yeah, Coach, I want to also say thank you very much. Thank you for showing up every day. Thank you for your consistency. And like you always say that in the stock markets, we are not just trading stocks, we are trading patience. Now you dropped another one today, sir, that when we find gold, we know how to hold. And those are the
Awesome.
things that sometimes when we want to make mistakes, we just remember those things and we make another decision again. Thank you very much,
Wow.
Coach, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, and God bless you too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we call it quits. Please, apologies to everyone who used to connect on YouTube and Twitter. They're working around the clock, but we can't do anything substandard. So I will try our best to get it back up perfectly. But till then, today's live stream will be uploaded on YouTube so that before 4 p.m. Nigerian time, it's available for those in the US and Canada who, because of time difference, can't join, or those even in Nigeria or elsewhere who can't join because of work. By all means, find a way and get the information. While you are at that, always share. When you are watching any YouTube videos, go ahead and share. Until we meet again, this is me saying thank you very much and have a great day. See you again tomorrow, 12 noon Nigerian time.